Hey guys, Jared here with RPE Strength and Fitness. Again, I want to kind of go over some of the common questions that we get in our no sweat intros or just around the gym. This is a very, very popular question when it comes to health and fitness. Probably I would say 80% of the population that we see in some capacity has either a weight loss goal or a body composition goal. And so I just want to touch briefly on this. This is a type of topic that could be talked about for hours. And so I'm going to do my best to keep this fairly short and understandable. The first thing when we ask the question, how do I lose weight? Or if somebody comes in and says, I want to lose 10 pounds or 50 pounds or 100 pounds, what does that even mean? Now, in our gym, we've had clients, I think I've probably had over the years 10 or 15 clients lose over 50 pounds. We've had clients lose 80 to 100 pounds. Now, I don't do that. They do that for themselves. They work out diligently. They monitor their nutrition. They're consistent for a long, long time. And so that's not something where I can just say to everybody, hey, come in here, you're gonna lose 50 pounds, because there's very much an individual responsibility when it comes to that. So the first thing I say, well, what is weight? Well, weight is, it's your body fat, it's your muscle, it's your bones, your blood. It's the scale is telling you the sum of everything that your body is composed of. Now, we actually have an in-body scale that will actually tell somebody how much muscle you have, how much body fat you have, what all that is actually made of. So when we retest people, we can tell them whether or not they're building muscle or losing muscle, or how much body fat they're losing in a part of that process. So when it comes to losing weight, if we focus on changing that to losing fat, everybody that wants to lose weight is at a risk for losing muscle. So we want to maintain or even improve muscle in the process of losing weight as much as we possibly can. And so if somebody comes in and says they want to lose 50 pounds, then one of my goals for them is to say, let's do this without losing any muscle, or the least amount of muscle possible. And so that's where protein is very, very important. And that goes for muscle gain or weight loss. But when it comes to the workout, I'm gonna focus more on the workout aspect of this. We want to, burn some calories. Obviously, it takes a caloric burn to get there. Plus we want to, maintain muscle, or maybe even build a little if possible. As I mentioned in a previous video, it's highly unlikely that you're gonna build a lot of muscle if you're in a caloric deficit, or if you're doing a lot of cardio. But if you're brand new to working out, you've never lifted weights in your entire life, it is still possible to build muscle while losing weight, because your body is so receptive to that. But if you're somebody who's been training for 15 years, you're trying to lose 10 pounds, then there is a possibility of you losing some muscle in the process. So we just want to minimize that. So we want to maintain that as much as possible, burning calories in the process. And so a lot of it's pretty much going to come down to a deficit in calories. And again, that just, for lack of a better explanation, it just means that you're going to burn more than you expend. Burn more than you take in. So if you're somebody who is, let's say you're using a workout app, and that app is telling you on your wrist that you're 5'5", 180 pounds, and you're burning 2,900 calories a day because your app tells you so. But you're confused why your body weight is going up when you're eating, an 1,800 calorie a day diet. Well, you can't rely on those training apps. They're pretty inaccurate when it comes to actually quantifying calories. You're better off quantifying the nutrition that you're taking in, and then just being very, very consistent in your workouts and those things, so that way you can monitor that over time. But for the most part, you need to be in a caloric deficit when losing weight. 1 pound of 1 pound equals about 3,500 calories. So to burn a pound of fat, you need to be in about a 3,500 calorie deficit over the course of several days, or weeks, etc. And your body responds best to slow and consistent weight loss versus rapid weight loss. So when we're looking at, losing weight, my general recommendation, again, if somebody comes in, they're in their intro, they've never worked out before, and they want to lose 50 pounds, the first thing I tell them to do is, one, just start to get active. It's the reason why we've set up processes at our gym to help clients get started. Is we start with basic movement assessments. We're not trying to win the race on the first day. We want to kind of get them active, get them motivated, get them interested in coming into the gym regularly, maybe making a few minor changes in nutrition, but not trying to overwhelm them with a bunch of new things right away. Now, 2 weeks in, they're like, you know what, I've made it 3 days a week. I'm feeling really, really good. I offer some nutrition consulting as well. And so then we would sit down and we would discuss, okay, well, what's your general diet like? What are we looking at? Because for a lot of people, they think, I had a client not too long ago tell me how clean she eats. And then when we actually sat down and did the numbers, she was eating about a fourth of the amount of protein that she needs per day to be able to support the activity that she's doing. So, having a little bit of guidance with that as well. But for the most part, if you increase your total burn by 200 to 250 calories a day and you don't change anything in nutrition, that should help you get closer to a deficit. And then if you notice that you're still not losing weight, then, we can start to talk a little bit more about reducing some of those net calories and where those should come from. That's a whole nother video trying to discuss, should I take carbs out, fat out, protein out? Number one, never take protein out of your diet. You should pretty much be always adding that in for the most part, unless you have, again, a medical reason not to. But in terms of losing weight, we need to be in a caloric deficit. We need to be in something that your body is burning more than you're taking in, and that can be very, very hard to determine. So that's why consistency is super, super important. If you're working out 2 times 1 week, 6 times the next week, 3 times the next week, 4 times the next week, 2 times the next week, but you're never changing your eating habits, it can be very hard to gauge what's working and what's not. So when we're looking at weight loss, again, the number one thing I tell the clients is just let's start developing some habits of getting into the gym regularly. Let the burn be your initial, the calories burned during workout be kind of your initial foundation. And then we can start to make some of those small and meaningful nutritional changes to kind of help burn some additional calories. For again, my clients, for a very broad statement, usually I look for about a reduction of 250 calories, in their normal diet, and then an increase of about 250 calories in their expenditure. And again, if all things considered, if this was perfect, they would lose roughly a pound a week. Now that has to be adjusted. As you lose weight, you burn less calories, your metabolism slows down. So those are some things that needs to be adjusted a little bit, because the less body mass you have, the less calories you burn. So there's a lot goes into that. And then at a certain point, you may get in such a deficit, calorie wise, and a lot of people probably do that if you've been dieting for a long time, is if you get in a deficit for too long, it can be very hard for your body to kind of go any lower than that. And so there's a period of potentially even changing to more of a strength training program, getting the goal of maybe building some muscle instead of losing weight or burning fat. So again, this is something that there's a ton of programs online you can follow, but being able to sit down, look at somebody face to face and discuss those goals with them is probably my best recommendation. And so if you have a weight loss goal, or if you have something where you're trying to change your body composition, find a coach, reach out to somebody that can help you in a one-on-one setting, or at least give you individual guidance to work on your goals, things that work for your lifestyle and your time, and all those things to kind of get the best results out of that. So again, we're going to continue to do some of these videos, like our common questions videos, and post them on our YouTube. If you have any recommendations, you can also please let us know.